did that just say? Chris?
I don't know. I couldn't see it. It didn't say you're live.
Go ahead, Carol, you're live. Go ahead, you're live. Go ahead, Carol, you're live.
I don't want to stick my head in front of there because I can't see the little tiny print.
Carol from Bluesky at Home, welcome to the Makerthon. You're live. Go ahead with your project.
Hi, Carol Lander here with BlueskyAtHome.com. I'm so happy to have you here for the Maker-a-thon. Our theme today is Christmas gifts. I don't know about you, but I love to receive a homemade Christmas gift. I love to make Christmas gifts for friends and family. It's so easy, it's so satisfying, and they really appreciate the effort that you put in. So I'm bringing up the end of today's Maker-a-thon from a maker studio, so I hope you enjoy this project. What we're going to be doing today is making these cute little signs for friends and family. Specifically, my signs I'm making them for several neighbors and friends. I found these little plaques at Joann's. They were $3. I bought 3 of them to start, and I actually had coupons, so they really turned out less than $3. So easy project, inexpensive project. If you have groups of people that you need to give gifts to, maybe a Bible study group, your kids' teachers, neighbors, friends, whatever, this is the project because it's, as I said, inexpensive, it's easy, and you can make quite a few of them in a short period of time. So I went ahead and made this one for you. It's just a raw wood plaque. I'll show you. This is what it looks like when you buy it. You can see that it's like, think of it as a fence, just wood put together, and on the back, it's just stapled with wood. It comes with a jute twine hanger. Now, to me, these can be done for hangers, or they could be put on a little stand like I've done here, either these little acrylic stands, or you could just have a wood stand or whatever the recipient wants, how they want to use it. So here's our supplies for this project. I am using stencils from one of our new Christmas stencils. These stencils come in two sheets. There's actually 12 stencils in this pack. You get a lot of bang for your buck. And I'm going to be using 3 out of this pack. And of course, the wood planks. You do have to paint these wood, and they're a little rough, so I'm going to be sanding those. For our white paint, I'm going to be using Baja's Buff. It's a one-step paint from Amy Howard at Home. Right now, it's the only white I have in our line, but you could also use Rescue Restore as well as One Step. This is Baja's Buff. I love it. It's kind of my go-to white. And I've already painted one, so kind of make this project go a little bit faster for you. So the other thing that I'm going to be using as our paint is both our chalk art. I'm going to be using Together Forever. It's our really pretty green, Christmas green chalk art. I'm also going to be using gel art ink. Gel art ink can be used on fabric, on glass, on wood, on metal, just about any surface. And sometimes I choose between chalk art or gel art ink, just depending on what color I want. For this one that I've already done, I use the Let It Snow stencil, And I actually used this really pretty blue called Hush Your Mouth. So I did that for a neighbor who's a good friend, and she lives a couple doors up. Her home is it's beautiful. It's all in blue and white. If you want to go see that home tour, it's on blueskyathome.com. So the first thing that we're going to do is remove our jute twine. I never throw these pieces of twine away. You just never know when you might reuse them. So we'll just pull that one through. As I said, normally you do not have to sand when you are using one-step paint or rescue restore, but this is raw wood and it's just a little bit rough, and you'll just get a better result if you just give it a light sand. This is 2020 or 220 grit sandpaper. So doesn't hurt to give the edges. Sometimes they're a little rough. And you can immediately feel it's just smoother and you'll get a nicer finish. And then I've got some lint-free rag. Just wipe that off. Okay. All right, before you open your can of One Step, you want to give it a really good shake. And then I've got my paint can opener. I have already used this can, and I cannot tell you how many projects, and I've probably got 3/4 of a can. I'm using a chip brush from Maker Studio, and I'm just going to take the paint off of the lid to start. And this is so easy, just several swipes across. Always go from the wet side to the dry side. I may get some paint on my fingers. I tend to be a little bit of a messy DIYer. Just a teensy bit more. Try to just cover about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch on your brush. Okay. All right, so I'm going to set this aside to dry. I'm going to cover up my can. Now, if you're going to reuse a brush, what I like to do, I always keep a spray bottle and paper towels. Just give it a little squirt of water. Wrap it in your paper towel and just set it aside. You don't have to wash it between uses. Okay, for our first sign, we're going to use this top one that says Merry Christmas, and it's surrounded by holly. This is what is so easy about these mesh stencils. You just cut along the line. Now, these are tri-mesh. They have adhesive on the back. See what a pretty design that is? I don't know how well you can see it, but you just peel it from the backing. Keep your backing because you're going to return your stencil to the backing to store it. So I'm just going to center my stencil. Fortunately, the little holes where the twine was attached kind of give you an extra guide. So I'm going to try and center it from top to bottom and in between my little holes. Just use your fingers to rub it down, make sure there's no air bubbles or anything. So we're going to use both of these colors for this project. You always want to have the gel art ink. You want to have a piece of cardboard to offload your gel art ink. As you can see, I've used this one several times, and I also have my plastic scraper. They come about this size, and I cut them into smaller sizes so that they work for different size stencils or areas. So I'm going to do the Merry Christmas in the center with our red gel ink. And you just want to gently rub the scraper across your stencil. Sometimes you turn it away from you. Sometimes it comes towards you, just whatever works. And then kind of get rid of your excess. I'm just going to scrape that off. Now I'm going to use Together Forever. It's the pretty green. I'm going to use it around the holly. And it has a thicker consistency. But the great thing about gel art ink is that you can remove it. You can even remove the gel art ink as long as it doesn't dry. Now, chalk art, you can remove it even when it's dry. So I'm just going to go over the holly. Again, just be careful so that you don't get your chalk art on your surface. Let's see. And just but you do kind of want to scrape across. Okay, I can tell I got just a little bit, but we'll wash that off. Okay. All right. I'm going to use the corner of, you can see, I can see I missed a little spot. I'm going to go back. Push that down in there. Then I'm going to use the corner of my, you can see how the both the gel art ink and the chalk art are used together. And just use the corner of my plastic scraper to lift up my stencil. And just slowly pull that back. And there you go. Now, the other thing I always keep handy is a bowl of water to put my stencil in as soon as I'm through with it. Now, see that little spot right there where I got a little chalk art? I'm going to take a piece of paper towel, spread a little water, and just wipe that off. And there you go. See how easy that was? And it's really pretty. I'm going to set this aside to dry. And this frame isn't quite done, so I have my hair dryer, which you can use. Whoa! Check that. Just a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. And while that's still drying, I wanted to show you some other really easy gifts that you can make using our products. Easy one, bookmarks. Okay, I used 6x6 cardstock, measured it into 3. So these are 2 by 6 inches. I used a Merry Christmas stencil, attached ribbon to it, and then on the back I used another one of our stencils that says "to" in front. So you can put the recipient's name from you. You can even have room for a little message, and these would be great for when you need group gifts. So inexpensive. Okay. Then this is one your kids can make. We have wood slices, which you can find at the craft stores or you can get on Amazon. They're very inexpensive. They're about 3 inches, I believe, in diameter. I used 2 of our snowflake stencils and our deer stencil. So this is also in the Bless Your Heart gel art ink. And again, these are great little gifts. Finally, one of my very favorites that I did, I used the same 6x6 cards and made Christmas cards with them. This is one of our holly stencils. I did it in both the green and the red. To apply the little berries in red, I actually used one of our artist brushes, so that worked really good. And here's 2 more. This is wishing you a jolly Christmas. And this is a series of Christmas trees. And if you can see the gold on there, I apply that with our gilding size and some of our gold leaf for a little extra bling. So those are other gifts that you can make so inexpensively, and your friends will love them. So we're going to do our last stencil. I'm going to use, this is Joy to the World. See, I love these little packets that give you so many stencils and for very little. So again, I'm going to turn this around so you can see it. And put this here. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to do Joy to the World in the Bless Your Heart, Bless His Heart, Your Heart, My Heart gel art ink. Just a little bit more. This goes so long. You do so many projects with just a little bit. Just scrape any excess across and use it. You'll notice that the gel art ink is a thinner consistency than the chalk art, okay? And then for around that with the berries, I love that you can mix not only our products, but you can mix the colors. Now that one's really close to the edge, so I'm being very careful. Normally I use painter's tape a lot to put around when you have an edge, a design that's really close to the edge of the stencil and you don't want to get it on your surface. So I think I'm going to switch and use this thinner one. And just turn your design, your surface around to get to wherever you need to get. And just make sure that you've got everything covered. You shouldn't be able to see any of your design. And always make sure that your chalk art lids are really, really tight. Okay, so we're going to again use the corner. Pull that up. Can't reach that with my fingernails. And just pull that. There you go. Isn't that pretty? So hopefully you can see that. Now all you have to do is take some ribbon and make your hangers. and give it to your friends. So I hope you like these little gifts. They're really easy. I'm going back and getting more of these or something similar. You could also use paper, but these little wooden plaques are wonderful for this type of gift. So if you would like to see more of this project, I'm going to have it in a blog post at blueskyathome.com on Monday, this coming Monday, which I believe is the 10th. And I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll look into trying a Maker Studio products. They're so much fun, and all the support and the fun things that you can see in our videos will, I hope, really inspire you. So have a happy holiday, and we'll see you later. Take care.